Welcome to Paranormal Gateway Paratalk. I'm Scott Wise, and our exposed guests are Mark, Cheryl, and Melanie from Nightwatchmen Investigative Team, a dedicated team of paranormal researchers from Eastern Ontario, named after historical guardians who watch over towns by night. This group brings that same spirit of vigilance and care to their work in the paranormal field, with mission to capture verifiable evidence and the educated public. Nightwatch investigates both public landmarks and private properties across Ottawa Valley and beyond. Led by longtime investigators Mark and Cheryl McKee, along with Dan Ducheneux, the team formed after years of experience with other groups work closely with them. Organizations like G.H.O.S.T, Ghost Hunters of Scientific Truth, with strong emphasis on respect, education, and preserving local history. They use scientific approach to help others better understand and explain. Tonight you hear some of the memorable encounters, including a mysterious figure caught on camera in a real museum and the vanishing DVR footage that left you see investigators stunned. Please welcome Nightwatch Investigative Team to the podcast. Hello!
Hello.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hello, everyone.
Thanks for having us.
That was windy.
Now, you got the next 55 minutes. That's all on you.
Oh, excellent.
So we're going to start like I do every podcast. Well, introduce yourself. I already did, but you want to explain what got you into it as experience or not having experience that got you into it.
Okay. I'm Mark McKee. I started doing this years back. My grandmother had Alzheimer's, dementia. I used to be the one get a call to go check on grandma because, I had a car, and when you're 16, it's like, I'll go see grandma. Went to her house one night. She always saw ghosts during that time. And it was usually, I was like, well, I'm losing my bed, but I'll pick grandma up and bring her back. And one night she said my grandpa was in the back corner shower, and I'm pretty sure he was. And it was a weird event. Back in those days, I couldn't have gone to my dad and said, I saw your dad tonight, because I would have been taken straight to an asylum and committed or something like that. So it was always a curiosity with me. And then I started working in a chemical plant factory. Long and short, we started investigating because a door would open in a place every night at 5 a.m, and it would on cue. It was the old main warehouse. So that's got me into this. And then I met Cheryl, and it kind of went just from there. It went really big. So I'm glad to be here. Your turn.
Oh, my turn. Okay, sorry.
Cheryl gets to talk.
Are you sitting beside him?
Yes. Hi, everyone.
Say it's brave one, Cheryl.
Okay. I'm Cheryl McKee, obviously married to this young man who I clubbed over the head and dragged over the border to Canada. But
Yes.
we
Scratch right here.
we learned very quickly that we both had a love of the paranormal, and we both wanted to know more. My journey started when I was 12, and my neighbor, my friend across the hall, had passed away due to a health issue, and she was very young. She was 13 years old. But I swear that she came to visit me one night to calm me down, to say that everything was okay. And ever since then, I've wanted to know more. And then when my own daughter started speaking to imaginary friends, and I'll use that term loosely, when she was 4 years old, I started just embracing it and just used to that. There's obviously constant spirit interaction, and as we've gone on, she's also joined us sometimes for investigations because she still has the gift as well. And now we do this as a group of friends mostly, and we really enjoy the scientific understanding of what's going on and trying to debunk what it's not, so that we can help people feel more comfortable in their homes and they don't think that suddenly there's a demon running after them, but that it might be just leaky pipes, something of that nature. So it's been a very satisfying and rewarding experience, and that's why I'm still here doing this. Better than my day job.
It keeps the active
Oh,
and
yeah.
young.
Yeah.
Gets us out of the house.
Yeah.
There you go.
So I guess it's my turn, eh?
Yes.
I'm Melanie. I joined the team. I guess it was probably close to 2 years ago now.
I think so.
I've always had an interest in paranormal. I've had experiences since I was a child. The most notable, well, I've had two pretty notable ones. The night my grandfather passed away, I woke up in the middle of the night and he was standing at the end of my bed. Yeah, and
okay.
he had poor circulation in his legs, so he had ended up having both of his legs amputated. So him standing there was odd. And I didn't think anything of it. I went back to sleep. I wasn't scared or anything. I went back to sleep. The next morning, I heard the phone ring, and before my mom even came to tell me, I knew that he was already gone. And then another time, just after my dad passed away, it was probably about a year after. I woke up the night to his voice saying Mel, and then I felt something sit on the edge of my bed. And then I've heard voices here and there and all that stuff. So I've always been interested in it. I honestly didn't think that there was actually teams that went out and did this. I thought it was all just on TV until I was on Facebook and I saw that Mark and Cheryl and the Nightwatchmen were doing a public investigation, at the Spencerville Mill. So I conned a friend into going with me. And so we went to that. And I think the next day or the couple days later, I sent the Nightwatchmen a message. And I was like, hey, if somebody wanted to get into investigating, how would they go about it? And they've been stuck with me since.
Yes, we have.
I'm fairly new to investigating, so I don't have a whole lot of experience. I don't have a whole lot of tales of fantastical evidence yet. I'm working on it. I'm trying.
We'll
I hope
get
so.
there. But the first time you get there, you're going to be like, oh!
Well, it was funny because we were doing another public investigation at the Heritage House in Smith Falls, and another team member that was previously with us and I were up in the attic, and that's where we got our first EVP that I know that we were the only two up there. So that kind of solidified things too. So that was pretty exciting. But I want to see like the apparition. I want to get it all.
Yeah, exactly. That's the way it goes. That was like my first investigation was at a church in Flowerstown, PA. Is built in 1818, and while we were in there was like a playroom for kids. That when the hands are church, like a nursery size playroom that kids would go to, and it's been there for since the building's been built. Yeah, sit bang out. I heard. I almost this table is a killer. Anyways, I got a first EP there, and we were sitting there with a female investigator with the group, and we were sitting in these little chairs, see if it was the playroom, and we were doing an EVP session, and we did a knuckles table, and I said, can you make that noise like he did? And the guy, EP, come back and said, I can't. Or a little kid.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I was pretty that's pretty
That's
clear.
cool. I think it's hard when it's kids, right? It's it makes me sad when you know it's kids, but
yeah, that's what you do. Other than the experience that I had when I was younger, me and my brother had to share rooms growing up because there's 5 kids in the family altogether. And so we share a room. The girls share another room, but we got bunk beds, and I always want to sit on top because brother hate being on top. You know, he always fall up. You know, um, so I hopped on top, and then I look up and I looked over, and I looked over towards where my sister's bedroom was, and then the door was shut, of course, and I saw a black figure.
That's what I want to see.
You don't want to be a black figure? What you say? You're one.
I want to see something like that. I think that's cool.
Oh, I did, but I was on the cover.
I'd be scared poopless, but I want to see it. I'd probably have a heart attack or something, but I still that's what I want. That's yeah.
I didn't wake up to a lung hospital. I was it. I stand on it. I was quite around for many years because I feel thing crazy. But other than that, I mean, I had some stuff. Had a story where I can hear it and picked up. I had that already. I just see. I still like that shadows. So I never seen a full body again. So, oh yeah. But
we've been lucky enough to see some shadows, some forms of people, and actually we did all see full body apparition at the railway museum, and there was 5 of us that saw it at once, which was extra special. But unfortunately, somehow the entire DVR got erased when we woke up the next day.
We're not lying. You almost it would have been great to film me throwing that G.H.O.S.T system into the floor and jumping up and down on it.
That's the worst thing. I got something so amazing, and it's gone.
It's gone.
Yeah. Well, the other week we went to the investigation. Investigation at a around October they have a drive-through amusement park, horror thing to the woods, and so we investigated that, and that's where we got that real weird thing that happened. But I after people saw that, they said, "Well, I'm not going there again." So it was let me show you real quick if you don't mind. You gotta see that real quick. Real quick. And then that's there for phone. Give 1 second here. But it's gonna be freaking goosebumps stuff. Yeah, so while you live here. And then after you see us, you probably don't want to go to bed.
Oh, super.
Oh.
Can you see us now?
All
right. I'll go ahead and play it.
Love.
Holy shit.
Wow.
Seriously.
It's a Bigfoot? Maybe it is.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah, let's say it again. Nothing's cute.
Okay. Let's get this Fred.
Skin one.
We got a all of it.
Love.
Oh,
Holy shit.
yes.
Seriously.
That's cool.
After you saw that, I was like, "What's the hell?" Oh,
Did you see it with your own eyes?
he did. The guy who I said, "Holy shit!" Yeah, he saw her and said, "Holy shit!" I'm like, what? And he got on himself and said, "We're leaving now."
That's cool.
That would have been about 10-foot moth if it was a moth. You know?
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah. It just still of it. I can't find it right now, but we did trade my frame, and the SEO tech something like the horns.
Oh,
Oh.
You know, it's really weird.
That would be a neat one to
Yeah.
send off to some.
And what's let's play again. People say I'm be a deer or something, but if you look, the skinny tree
Yeah.
there, where it vanishes in the tree.
Yeah, it's a kind of a full form.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would have chased it.
So that's,
Wait for me.
Well, well, if I ever get on the plane, you don't want to be in.
he'd be 10 miles down the road before you get 20 feet from him. He's going pretty freaking fast.
If it's ET and I get in this ship, I'm pushing all the buttons. They're not going to do anything else to me.
You know what? At this point now, they just take me away. Kind of Calgon, but EVD.
Yeah.
Take me away.
Yeah, let me go light speed like Shatner, please.
There you go. Leave me up,
And on
Scotty.
Yeah, I really have no explanation for that. Like, it's neat is we do have a scientist we can send evidence to, and he'll put it in every angle, slow motion, filters.
Mm-hmm. What the advise you do?
Pretty cool. But that's definitely something that, that's not a bug.
No,
oh,
that's
cool.
cool.
No.
Yeah. I'm gonna.
If it is, it's a big ass bug.
That's a big ass bug.
Yeah.
That's all bad.
Yeah, like the lands are freaking lost.
Yeah.
But
Yes.
I get so sick of people saying it's bug or dust. It's like, come on now. Come be more original.
Yeah, it's interesting.
it's a duck bug.
Yeah. The human bug. That's what I am right now.
It's a duck deer bug.
Yeah. So you guys will talk after investigation, or about some equipment you guys use, and maybe just a lot of stuff. What kind of equipment you guys use?
Well, we use everything. We've got, your gadgets, as we call them, the REM pod, the Eddy Plus. My favorite is the Mel meter with REM.
Yeah.
It's just convenient, and you can set it down. Obviously, if you're holding a Mel meter with REM and it's going off, it's probably not paranormal. But Melanie's laughing. The voice recorder is my favorite go-to. It's Olympus, $59, best piece of paranormal equipment you could buy. We have 4 cases of everything. Some of it I think is garbage, and some of it's really good.
Yeah.
My favorite piece that I bought is a UK REM pod. It's a knockoff. It's cheap. That thing never goes off. So when it does, you've got something weird going on.
Yeah.
That's for damn sure.
Yeah.
And there's other instruments we bought, and it's like, this goes off all the time. There's no way there's a ghost everywhere I go.
Yeah. And there are factors, environmental factors, like that shit too.
Yeah, I've found recently it's I recommend, like, honestly, a voice recorder and a personal experience. I think we spend too much time with gadgetry and thinking science and not thinking real science, I guess, as I call it in paranormal, because there is radiation, there is floating electromagnetic field. I've seen people where it probably is floating in an electromagnetic field, or like it's a ghost. It's like, if it's not intelligent, it's probably not. But if you can say on command, stop making this turn on, or stop or turn it on, and it does multiple times on command, you've got something really cool at that point. Free floating radiation is not intelligent.
It was something that we started doing. We stopped and like those things experiments with the flashlight trick. We don't do it. I saw a video. Actually, a friend of mine saw a video and made one that you turn a little bit to the left or right just to turn it off. But what's going to make going off is temperature variations. So if it's too cold, it might go off or it might disconnect from it. So if you don't really get, just don't turn it. Like, turn on or off. But that's how we do them. So how do you guys use them or not?
We've done the flashlight. We're more like right now. I'm kind of going old school. It's like I used to be really deep into science, and I was a 21-year chemical operator in an R&D facility. So I know about the atmospheres and all the chemicals and stuff. But I find that it ruins the night when you just keep tearing down a good night and not trying to just have a good time. And it disrespects the ghost. I think when you go in and provoke, you're asking for something you don't want to ask for. Yeah. And you're also disrespecting somebody's brother, cousin, sister, even if they hated him, still family.
Mother-in-law.
Yeah, mother-in-law. Yeah. Oh, boy.
Yeah, no, that's one thing we always tell people when we do public investigations, that always be respectful, that this is somebody's family member that passed. And just because you can't see them, they can see you. And they're still very much there. They're just beyond the veil. So be respectful that, you're not pissing off somebody's grandma like mine who's got a willow switch on hand.
All right. And we go to these places, introduce yourselves and tell them what your intentions are too. There, So.
Well, Melanie loves me.
I think that's.
We're to learn from you. We want to come out fire about. Understand?
Yeah. No, I think it's super important to go in and introduce yourself to whatever spirits are there, and just say, like we're here to respect. We just want to communicate. We're not here to upset you or offend you. And just ask for that communication.
Well, I had a second round back at Haldman Mansion. I think it was Saturday. On the back, and I said, "Hey, I'm back," and I picked up everyone Scott. So they remembered me there, and I think it was a little girl who actually talked to me. But I might have that here. Over there. Her name was Hannah, and I was talking to her. I said, "Is Hannah here?" And she goes, "Mm-hmm." And I said, "Okay."
Mm-hmm. No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We, and those interactions are good. Like Melanie, I've been kind of working with her for a couple of years, and I think that her favorite time with me was when I did dad jokes. Believe it or not, it works. Just to sit in a circle and start doing dad jokes. You usually will there'll be a voice come in or something else. I mean, you don't think it, when you watch TV, everybody's like, "Is anybody here like to speak to me tonight?" And they're holding their meter. It's like,
and the ghosts are going, "Oh my God."
Yeah. Oh my God.
Exactly. Not again. Who let them in?
I find we get a lot of our evidence or interaction when the three of us are just talking. Like we're just sitting around shooting the shit and not necessarily trying to interact. It's like, "Hello guys, I'm here. I want your attention." Yeah. So I think that's pretty cool. We get a lot of interaction that way, just kind of ignoring them and doing our own thing, and then.
Yeah. We just want spirit to feel comfortable enough to communicate with us. And so we try very hard to just make them feel like they're just part of the conversation. And it's no big deal that we're here. We're just coming over for a visit.
Well, it's proven over the years with me anyways that's how you get the best results.
Yeah.
So we got a lot of good stuff over the years.
Yeah, there was one I would like to send you. I've got an EVP from Fort Henry. I was just explaining to a guy how a meter worked, and suddenly you hear an Irish voice say, "I'll gut you." It's pretty funny because it was outside the cell that the guys spent their last night before they were hung at Fort Henry. And there was a guy that went to Kingston when I played it to the historian. that went into Kingston, Ontario, and stuck a Bowie knife into a bar, several people in a bar, and they had to go arrest him and bring him back to the fort, and then they hung him. And she said that probably would line up with that guy. It's one of the most concrete evidence of a person I have. It's actually that person.
Wow. And out of students who are EVP, no good blocks, right? Just straight.
Straight, it's a class 1. It's 100% clear as hell. It's a British voice.
I say S box every once in a while, but I like sticking to just stand home record.
Yeah, that one, like when you're breaking evidence down, and I've done this for years. I've never had one that just like, did I just hear that? Because that's way too good. And then I had to watch the DVR and say, who was there with us and prove.
I don't know how many times we've gone back to the DVR and said, okay, we got this on 6 different angles. Now we have to go through the footage from all 6 cameras to see what the hell went on, and was there somebody else there that created that sound or was speaking.
Yeah, and that part's the downside of paranormal. I would tell people, because honestly, anything you present to the public usually gets, you're going to get met with some hate. Yeah. So sometimes it's best just to keep it to yourself. A good friend of ours, he stopped sharing any of his evidence. He's like, I got what I need. I'm not letting anybody tear it down.
And I think for me, like I do this for me, right? Like I don't do this to prove to anybody that something is out there, because I don't feel that I need to. I do this because it's something I enjoy and it's something that I believe in. And yeah, if I get evidence of something happening, that's awesome. That's a bonus for me.
Yeah, and she usually walks away going like this.
I go out not expecting anything.
Yeah.
Oh, you can. You can go for an 8-hour investigation and not get anything.
We had a video like that, but usually I'll get 1 or 2.
Yeah.
Well, the book we're going to look at's a fun one, because that was literally 5 minutes before we shut down. We were like, we're done, we're tired, we're shutting down. What just happened in the upstairs right next to me? It's like, oh wow.
Narrowly missed a friend, one of the participants' heads. The book just came out, levitated out, and dropped, and just barely missed them. And we caught it on camera, on several cameras, and that was the best part. We ended up pivoting below it.
I got that for you.
Sure.
Yeah, I can build up some background on it. This is actually the library in Smith Falls. It's a Carnegie library. It was built by the same architect that did the New York library.
Sorry.
And when they called me up, I was like, this is Ghostbusters. Okay, I'll come, because I like Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
And I stepped in the place, and if you're an investigator, you can step in a place and get a feel for it. I got the feel right away. It's like, this will be good. And we booked the public to raise funds, because libraries are going broke. And boy, did we get a bang at the end of the night.
Oh, literally.
Wow. Yeah. I three different ones here. I guess different angles, I guess they are. So let me show you.
That's up to
Here's the other one. I guess it's
shelf. There's a piece of dust going by. There's going to be a flash of light above the shelf. Boom.
See, it came up from
Boom.
between
As soon as the light went off, the book fell off. Like,
because the light goes.
oh, it's cool.
Yeah. So
Yeah. Go ahead.
we heard it hit, but we were in the dark, which is neat. So naturally, I bolted, because I was sitting on the other side of the table for the DVR, and rewound. It was like, and we watched it over and over. So we went back up. I'm over 300 pounds, so I footballed the shelf a few times to see if I could knock things over.
You really did.
Dan and I jumped up and down like jackrabbits in circles around it. Couldn't get a book to come back off. Yeah, you're looking for a board that's loose or something. It's like, come on, this can't be, and we couldn't debunk that. The neat thing is we went back, and I had 4 books thrown at me the night we went back to the library. Every time I'd go down a certain area, a book would fly off the shelf.
Yep.
Before we got there the second time, I staged each book. Cheryl and I actually, because we thought, what if the librarian had just thrown the books up there? And, if you've got 20 books that weigh 50 pounds, you're just going to put it, oh, it's good. See you later, because I got 20 more. So we actually made sure they were about that far wide so that they couldn't just fold and fall. And we still had them fall the second time. We're returning there in the fall.
Yes, we are.
Do you know what book it was? A title?
He does.
Anything?
Diary of Anne Frank, which is more hilarious because the girl sitting below that book had mentioned earlier in the night that was her favorite book. Her name was Lawrence. Wow. It was like, whoa, this is weird. I also did an experiment there. And you got to think outside the box sometimes as an investigator, not be afraid to be weird. But it was September, and we thought, let's have ghost. Yeah, let's have ghost.
We do weird well.
Ghost picked books. So we took K2 meters and walked scanning the books, and believe it or not, it would go off randomly at a book. So we pulled off 40 books that night. That the K2s were going nuts. And we had ghost pick books is what they put out in October for people to read.
Yeah.
And it was actually kind of funny because some of them were about the afterlife, death. Sylvia Brown book came out. I was like, I remember grabbing the Sylvia Brown. I'm like, this is just too coincidental, but okay, love and light, second medium.
After you go down like this across the things, it reminds me Diamond Elm Street, Freddy Krueger going down the alleyway.
It does.
Yeah.
So I really love the place, and the people there are lovely. It's something libraries are going to have to change or come up with something new. I think people are forgetting about them, and so they're more open to do these events because obviously if you spend your life in a library, you're probably going to stay there in your afterlife or visit because there's a lot of dedication to that.
Yeah, we're gonna start doing some events at libraries. I think.
It's fun.
Yeah.
Raise more money for the library, and
what I like about libraries the most though is matrixing because your mind is already on edge because everywhere you go there's a shadow, something in the corner of your eyes, your claustrophobia, all of it in one night.
I'll think it's so. Yeah, we still get a library for a while.
The old historical buildings, those libraries, because they've got so much energy and so much memory in that energy. Yeah. Those are the best.
It's awesome. Right there. Yep. We had the one in York, Martin Library. And that one was like early in 1900s built. So it's old.
Like that.
It's got a lot of history.
Yeah. York had a lot of old stuff there. There's the old tavern, sit there, and old courthouse.
Yes.
Yep.
I like courthouses.
Yeah. If you're actually a visit York, it's pretty cool to do tours and stuff in York.
Yeah, we did a courthouse and Melanie got to be the judge.
I did.
Oh.
We had a legal case that night.
I laid down the law.
Yeah. What did you sentence Mark to?
Life imprisonment. He's bad.
Boy.
He He must wear his pants around the house.
Yeah, I have to wear pants. I'll be at the S&G jail in Cornwall, Ontario, for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
At least he didn't attribute it to being married to me this time.
Oh. Shots fired.
Sleeping on
And
the
that's
couch.
it, folks.
And you want to know what I am? In January, me and wife get married 25
Oh
years.
wow! Congratulations. That's quite a milestone.
Yes, that is amazing. Good job.
That could please shut my shit that long. Oh yeah. I love her.
Well, that's important. That's good.
Yeah. We get over well.
Yeah, we've only been 10 years, so
Yeah,
we've
10
got
years.
a ways to go.
She's a saint.
That's not what you always say.
Yeah.
Not all the time.
Wait till we get off camera.
Yeah.
Well, you when you're husband wife duo and you decide to leave the team and just go off on your own. We went to West Virginia Penn and we both got that feeling in the boiler room that you better get the hell out of here now because whatever's in here is really mad. So we were walking backwards because I wasn't going to turn my back on what was coming. And I turned around to look because I didn't hear anybody stepping behind me, and my wife's gone. And I'm dying because I'm like, great. I'm like, Cheryl, and she's like, I'm up here. And I'm like, great. And then she came running back down. It was like suddenly I had the old 1970s Clouseau over my shoulder. I'm like, what's going on? And she's like, I said, did your meter go off the top of the stairs? She goes, yeah. And and Eddie doesn't scream, but the Eddie actually turned fully blue where she was. And we found out that she actually was standing where the electric chair used to be and where they hung people was right outside the boiler room in the basketball court.
Oh.
So I was like, so you ran to death row to get away from whatever was down here going to kill you.
No, I only ran faster because I could run faster than him at that point.
Yeah, so I know what happens if it ever gets real, if I'm getting possessed and she's gone.
That's because she leaves you as
Right.
ghost bait.
Bye, Mark. Love you. See you later.
Yeah, good beat. I see things for you. Yeah.
That's
I had nothing to do with that, just so you know.
Oh, yeah.
I was not there.
If you can outrun me, don't worry about it.
All right. Gesture says, if I'm running, charge you up.
If I'm running, you should probably run.
If it ever gets that bad, I'm just going to sit down and say, okay, here we go.
Oh, yeah, that was a fabulous investigation when we went to West Virginia Penn. That when we had something throwing rocks at us down the stairs, and we had so many different things down. What the heck is that place called in the bottom?
The Sugar Shack.
The Sugar Shack. There was definitely some funky stuff going on in the kitchen. There is some sort of not so happy spirit there. And we watched this mother and daughter duo walk in on their own, and we're like, "Don't do it! Don't go in!
Yeah.
Come back."
This is not amateur night. It's not a place to go if you're an amateur.
Why you still can?
Yeah. Well, we heard somebody scream and never saw them again, and it was like we think it was them that night.
Yeah.
So like that's creepy. Yeah.
Run for a
Yeah.
ton.
Yeah. Be careful what you ask for, because when you get it, it is spooky as hell. I always that's my advice.
Yeah.
You know.
I've been told a couple times.
Yeah. I can't wait to see Melanie completely pale, white, sweating, shaking, going, I saw a full body, and I'll be like, yeah.
Yeah. Melanie can't wait for that either.
It might happen. I haven't seen one yet, but it might happen.
Oh, absolutely.
Give it time.
Just as long as you don't wake up like Mark did one night with something sitting on his chest.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah? It was which?
Don't know what it was. I don't know. It had a really bad week, so I just covered up my sheets and said, do what you got to do, but I got to get some sleep.
me just look at this.
You know, I find that I tell people it's usually works. Just if you ignore it and say, leave me alone.
Yeah.
That's the best route if you've got a bad spirit or something. You know, I don't know.
Say, don't make me sick my last shirt on you.
Exactly.
Oh my.
We have, it's funny when I moved up to Ottawa, there's so many, I've met more witches in my life in this area than anywhere in the world. They're everywhere.
Yeah.
And they're good. Most of them are good people. We investigate with witches.
Yeah. And mediums.
Yeah, we've got a few mediums. I'm a large medium at large. And
I'm down to medium now.
I'm not.
I don't suggest my diet though.
it kind of goes,
It's like I sick on time. I lost up 30 pounds in 6
Oh
weeks.
wow.
wow.
Oh,
I was in the hospital 14 days.
wow. I
That's
hope you're
not
getting
fun.
better.
I don't recommend that diet.
No. Well, I mean, I could probably stand it.
There was silence.
I quit smoking a year ago, and I've put on quite a bit of weight since then. I took up eating instead.
Well, that's what happened to me.
Yeah.
I put down the Marlboros. But now I take inhalers and I'm old, so it's like I wish I hadn't smoked.
Yeah, I smoked that for about 15 years and I quit. I quit back to 20 years
Oh wow,
ago.
good for you.
Yeah.
Good job.
Yeah. Probably more so 25 years. Yeah. Cause I got my wife reset that she wanted to marry me if I was smoking. So.
Yeah, and I told Mark that for him to come up to Canada and be with me, that he needed to stop smoking by the time that he did.
She did not. She did I don't really like you smoking, but if you got to, it's okay.
Well, I had picked with 2 carton cigarettes to her, so I think it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cause I thought she was smoking hot still.
Right.
No, the only smoke he gets here is when I burn sage.
Or I burned something on the stove. There you go. I got some cool pictures here, I think, of you guys. I got this one here. It's like it's hard to explain. They're being like
Yeah, this is a real cool one.
Yeah, it's
This is a really, really neat one because this was both visible without the camera and through the camera. And that is a Dodge Magnum, which is the Challenger. So that hood's 6 foot long. There wasn't smoke at that time in the garage. This is 3 a.m. in Indiana. I had cleaned this car, took a picture, grabbed the phone to take a picture and send it to the person, say your car's done when they got up in the morning. And damned if I could pan the whole length of the car. That was 20 foot long. And I could literally watch this dissipate over about a 5-second period. It disappeared. And it was like some giant long blob of worm. That was an iPhone 12, I think, at the time. And yeah, it was visible both here and there, and you could see it fade. The opaqueness is what really distinguishes it. You can see the hard line on the left side at the top.
yeah.
You can see that through it there. So it's not a bug. It wasn't.
It got ends in an orb shape.
Yeah, it's tube shaped. When I went to bed that night, my door was knocked on multiple times. And it's kind of comical because my dad's afraid of nothing. And my basement flooded 2 nights later. And my dad went to the house to clean up because I had to go to work. And he called me. He's like, I'll just go clean your basement for you. He called me an hour after he got to the house. And he says, I'm leaving because your bathroom doors are opening and closing and your kitchen cabinets opened up twice.
Oh, God.
Nice.
But yeah, this is definitely I will tell you, every hair on my body was straight up at that time.
Yeah, and with that about being slow, because it's not, because the more uniform and smoke dissipates quicker and it spreads out. That's one solid line. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very unique, to say the least. Whatever the hell this was. But yeah, it was one of those experiences. You're like looking through the camera, looking at it, and seeing it off film and on film. It was just crazy.
yeah, I know that's a good one.
Yeah, I can't explain it.
It's pretty hard to explain.
Yeah, and that's one of even the scientists, because you look at the shape is parallel on each side, which is weirder. Smoke wouldn't be parallel, and you would see some kind of smoke anywhere where this white line is.
Right. Uh-huh.
So I'll never forget that night.
Wow. Yeah.
You pissed something off.
Sure.
Yeah.
Off. Yeah, I was at Vegas.
Yeah.
I was out provoking that night.
If some other ones there, let me pull it up and then tell me what it is.
So this is the Randolph County Infirmary in Indiana.
Okay.
It's very affordable to rent out for groups. I just give them good props because we stop at places. Even if you're not going to ghost hunt, you can go during the daytime and get to see where we go. To preserve these places and keep them open, part of my mission statement is to educate people that these places won't be around if you don't go see them.
Right.
Some person would gladly convert that into a Microsoft office or
Apartments.
Yeah.
Little bit of everything. So that place there is in Indiana, and believe it or not, I laughed when I saw the first show where they went there. I was like, you're in for a rude awakening, and they did get it there. If you go there respectful, you'll have a great night. If you go there being poking holes and yelling, you'll get it.
Still be a douchebag, you were saying.
Yeah. If you ask for it, you will get it there.
Yeah. You said respect.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like a
100%.
song.
Yeah. Just Aretha Franklin. Put it in your head and you go.
Yeah, you gotta have it.
It's a beautiful place too. I love the architecture there.
Yeah, I want to give them the inside too. Maybe we'll do that this year because we were thinking about doing a theater out here.
Okay.
Okay.
But the theater is about 2 hours from me here. But I think we're gonna try for Randolph here, man.
Yeah, that's about 1 hour and a half west of Mansfield, Ohio.
Oh, really?
It's between Fort Wayne and
No shit.
yeah,
Oh,
it's
gosh.
it's in your backyard, man. It's out in the middle of nowhere, and that's the thing is like with Randolph County, there's not a lot of traffic. That's like everybody's like, I don't know where that's at. It's like it's right next to Mansfield where you can go to the reformatory. And I'm not saying anything bad about the reformatory. It's amazing, and you should go there too. But
Yeah.
There's places like that need people to foot traffic.
Well, it's probably a little cheaper, Randolph.
Oh, 100%.
Mansfield like 3,000 a night, man. I'm like, I don't think so.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm negotiating a contract right now. It's 20. It's expensive.
Yeah, I was thinking at least 2,000. I was like, well, I don't know.
Yeah.
And that'd be maybe a couple of years down the road.
It's not a cheap endeavor.
Yeah, that's not.
Not a cheap hobby.
Now, we started doing dues.
We rented out Pennhurst to just us, which worked out good. But we actually we took 2 groups with us and split the bill, which is good because you're controlled. You don't have a bunch of people running around.
Right.
When I went to the Pennhurst Public, and I enjoyed that because that was fun, because it reminds you of what you were 25 years ago versus what you are now. You know, I love to see the young investigators doing stupid stuff that we used to do, the splinter cell goggles,
Oh yeah, there was the kid that was doing the Estes method for the first time. Had no idea what he was doing, and you would think that he thought he was Zach Baggins Jr.
I call him Zach Bagans Jr. I like Zach Bagans, by the way. But I like Zach Bagans. I think he's great. But this kid literally looked like miniature Zach Bagans. I was like, oh, calm down, bud. It's like you're asking for it.
Mini Baggins.
Yeah, mini Baggins.
That's what I called him.
Bubble Baggins.
Man.
Bubble Baggins.
Bubble Baggins.
I like that one.
I wish like that night he probably would have saw the kid and just started laughing and goes, oh my God, what have I created?
I feel like he would have taken him under his wing.
Yeah.
You would have been the next investigator on Ghost Adventures for sure.
Just don't keep his shirt on. So.
Yeah. They'd be real boring. They'd sit me in a room by myself and they're like, the dude's staying there and not moving.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Yeah, we done STF, right? Yeah. Okay. Next picture here.
So that's the Spencerville Mill, and this is lovely part of paranormal investigation. We had a really bad night there, but it was a beautiful night too, because before the investigation started, people don't get the time to actually start looking at the scenery, looking over the waterfall. The weirdest part about this area of the mill, if you stand there at the edge and you stare at the water, we've had more than one person think that they're about to fall in. It's not really an explainable thing, but it's unique.
Yeah.
But sometimes when you're doing an investigation, if other investigators to see this, take that 30 minutes once you're set up and waiting for the sun to go down, take that 30 minutes and just enjoy the scenery. This is built in the early 1800s, I believe.
Yes.
And it's still a working mill. They actually turn it on and let us see it run, which was amazing. We had a lot of activity there. And I've had 2 people freak out inside the place.
Yeah.
Good investigation.
We I see an old stone wall. That's pretty cool.
Yes.
So this is the mill that I did the public investigation, and then I emailed messaged Mark and Cheryl about joining the team. During that investigation, there was a group down in the basement, and the whole group actually, I think they were with Mark, and the whole group audibly heard a female's voice, and you could play it back and hear it on the recorder as well.
Yeah, we heard it live and recorded it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Cool. Yeah. Oh,
It's the fun thing about the mill, and let's not talk all paranormal. They host amazing events there, a father-daughter dance.
Oh, that's cool.
It's
They
very
just did
cool
a
what they
prom.
do.
Is this next picture of the mill?
Yeah, that's the top floor, so that's how good a shape it's in.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
They took good care of that, and at least it was kept the outer shell.
Yeah, that's 1800s wood restored. I mean, the Mary that runs it has done an amazing job with the preservation.
That is gorgeous.
They do art classes. They do a little bit of everything to keep people busy and to keep the mill going. They're doing it right.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just raised enough money to put in an elevator for wheelchair accessibility.
Yeah, with back in York PA down in Gun Rock, they had one called Mangus Mill.
Okay.
And it still has the wheel that does the water
Yeah.
around it.
Nice.
And that was just preserved too. But that is, oh my God, that is nice inside. Ooh.
Yeah,
I never even thought it. I actually have a video of the mill working. I didn't even think I could have sent it to Cheryl, but
Oh, yeah.
See it another time.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
There's Rolling Hills, New York.
Okay.
That place is awesome. I freaking love Sharon that runs it. I met her once. She probably won't even remember me. But we went to the Tennessee Race Chasers were there and had a blast with those guys
Oh, yes.
at their event. They're they're great investigators off TV. And Rolling Hills is very cool because you have a creepy factor the entire time you're there.
So look at it.
It's not, I don't call it scary, which Sharon found funny, but yeah, you feel like the whole time you're there, somebody's following you around and watching you.
Yeah.
We had to take an investigator home that night. She got sick as soon as she walked in, and then we got her to the hotel, and she's like, I want to go back. It's like, you can't go back. So stay here. I'm going back and finish the night. Cheryl volunteered to lay on the gurney in the basement, which was funny.
Yeah,
I would have done that. Yeah, it takes free choice.
I was there for the experience. I wanted to do it all. Laying on the
Yeah.
autopsy table. Hey, that's just part of it.
They offered, she took. She's like,
Yes.
Maybe you should have took a straight jacket.
yeah.
Oh yeah. Give me a challenge. I'll usually do it.
I'll do this too.
Yes.
I was gonna roll me up on a rollator and get me going.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Yeah. Here's the that's spooky.
So that's Rolling Hills with red light. We light it up with red. It's one of my biggest things I like with using the red light because your eyes don't dilate. People say, why don't you use a flashlight? Because white light if you're in pure black and white light hits you in the face, your pupils dilate and you get an immediate migraine.
Yeah. And
So
they got their black dots forever.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so we use red and green. Sometimes I might use green. But
Yeah.
I really like to tell people when you go to public, if you see this, please use red or green light. Plus, it looks scary as shit.
It does. It brings up the creep factor for sure.
Oh,
Yeah. We started doing that for our flashlights.
Yeah, I made a red light out of a plastic wrap bought from the dollar store and put over the clear lens.
Yep. That's what I'm gonna do.
Parabudget.
Parabudgeting.
Yeah.
I'm not buying a $20 flashlight when I can buy a $1.99 one and 20 cents of paper over it. We're good.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. It's just like the equipment I got. You get pretty cheap. You know, it's just stick science, know how to wire it and stuff, but
Oh, for sure.
yeah. But I think you do a couple of them, but you do them pretty quick. So yeah. So, you guys have any places coming up, or I mean, yeah.
I've got a couple of things in the works. That nothing absolutely solidified just yet, except it's the 11th of July solidified.
Yeah, the 11th of July, we're going to do an event with the Heritage House Museum. We have a group that we run around with, SIPA Canada. They're awesome. We're going to do a combined event. It raises all funds for the museum, so we donate all of our time. We make nothing. We sell tickets to 20 to 25 people. Let them experience paranormal investigation, and all the funds go to the museum. Part of our method of saying that, A, for now, the museums are in trouble. B, if you want a paranormal in 30 years, I want people to be able to do it. So us kind of opening up this door by raising funds is showing the museums that, hey, we're not going to come tear it up, and we have a fun night, and people usually leave happy. We've only been protested once so far doing this, which I loved. I was like, is Westboro out there, please? No, but it was a local church that wasn't happy. But You can't make everybody happy. I get what they're saying. So you gotta honor everybody's beliefs and stuff, but that's coming up. We were going to travel to the States, but because of the border stuff, it's just Canada's in trouble. We're keeping our money up here because we're going to rent big places up here because they're not getting any American traffic either right now. And
I'm so fed up right now. I'm hotel politics no sure it's the only thing I'm going to do. But I would rewind back a bit. I forgot to ask you about the Railroad Museum.
Yeah.
Yes.
What was the experience?
That was the Smith Falls Railway Museum is the most amazing place to go. I'm a 4-year-old kid when I go there. You have the old locomotives, the cabooses. There's a dining car that downright at 2 a.m. is creepy-ish.
Yeah.
It just nobody goes in there at 2 a.m. doesn't have a hair standing up somewhere.
Yeah.
And EMF and all that. But the Railway Museum, they have the neatest thing because one of the guys there likes typewriters. So there's a room of typewriters and stenographs, like hundreds of them. And you're with the radios.
Oh, yes.
It's beautiful. It's been in Hallmark movies. Hallmark rents it out and films there for old movies and railway museums, railroad scenes. Tony Humphreys actually made and the guys that work there, they've made a train inside a train car. They have toy trains that look like Smith Falls.
Oh,
and then they have a dental car. And believe it or not, a dentist used to go down the road and drill people's teeth. And this car is just creepy. You don't need any paranormal gear. You just go in and it's like, oh my God, this is straight out of a mad scientist shit.
Yeah, that's bad proof on everything.
Yeah.
I'm like, they used to
they bossed you on the head and knocked you out a little bit.
Yeah, they used to pull this car around Canada into towns and do dental work. But the horror movie, because I'm wearing Chucky, kicks in and I'm like, oh my God, this is a horror movie and a half. Yeah. You're tied up in a rail car going down the railroad, and the dentist is like, let me drill.
Oh God, what a thought.
But there's EMF in there. And
serious.
Every psychic person gets in that area and says something happened, which I can't prove, so I'm not going to say it happened. There's been 4 verifiable incidents in that area with stuff there. But like I said, I don't talk about those in public. I just tell people, let's be respectful. But yeah, the Railway Museum's delivered. I was threatened to be beat up there on an EVP. We caught, it's the Taj Mahal of paranormal evidence when you actually can see a full body. We're sitting in Nerve Center and we were sleeping in the rail cars that night. And I'm like, I'm tired. And suddenly we saw it. And I was like, did somebody just, so we rewound when you're at DVR 60 freaking times. And I didn't remind myself to pick up my iPhone and film, which I do now. And I recommend that to anybody. Take a hand video of it before you shut the DVR down if you know you've got evidence, which I did at the Smith Falls Library. But you could see this guy. It was clear shaped. It wasn't readable, but it looked like a guy picking up a bag, throwing it over his shoulder, and walking over the floor. And then he walked back. And the room used to be a grain room.
Oh, okay.
So 4 of us sat there going, and one of our members, it made me mad because he ran straight to the room. And I'm like, don't. And I tell people, as an investigator, a lot of people will see it on the DVR and run to the room. He scared whatever was there off. It left. Because I was like, let's stay here and watch this live. Because we were watching it live. It's like, stay at Nerve Center and let it do its thing, because maybe it becomes more visible. Maybe we'll see more, So when we went to bed, we're all like, we got the Taj Mahal. This is going to go to the CTV News. And wake up in the morning, turn on the DVR. There's nothing there. And we
We had a
have
group cry.
no idea, man.
Yeah.
I have no idea what happened, where it went, what happened, but yeah, we left the DVR running when we went to bed, and it was shut down when I got up, and it was so now it's a personal experience. You know, that's what we say to people.
Yeah.
You know, everybody's like, "You're telling a lie." No, I'm not lying. I know what I saw.
Right. Yeah. Well, you sometimes when you get the camera wrong, you still get screwed.
Yeah. Yeah, I've
Well,
learned that.
it comes to territory, it has to be special sometimes. So I tell people don't get down about it. If you're really gonna be into it, find a group in your area and don't go out buy horse stuff. Just go along with them.
Yeah,
You know, you use their stuff and
Just roll with it.
roll with it.
Sorry, last summer I wasn't a part of the team when they had this happen at the Railway Museum, but I've heard them tell the stories and talk about it. So I was in Smith Falls last summer, so I decided to go to the museum by myself and walk around the cars. Mm-hmm. And I walked into the dining car, and I'm the only one in the car. There's literally nobody else at the museum. And I'm like, hey, I'm Melanie. I'm just coming to say hello. If you want to make a noise or just let me know that you're here. And I could hear, all of a sudden I could hear tapping. Mm-hmm. And I was like, okay. I'm like, if that's you, can you do it a little bit louder? And the tapping continued. I don't know. I'm not saying it was paranormal. But I don't know if it was something from the car itself or I don't know. But I do know when I asked for a noise, there was a noise.
Yeah. So, there you go.
And it was pretty cool. And as Mark was saying, the dental car definitely has a vibe. Like when you walk in there, yeah.
They get too thick when you walk in.
No, it felt eerie. Like it felt weird. It was a very odd vibe. I was almost uncomfortable, but not like scared uncomfortable, just like uncomfortable. It was interesting. Yeah. But it's a beautiful place. Absolutely. Yeah. Oh, I'm excited for my grandson to get a little bit older so I can take him so he can see all the trains.
That's the thing to tell people, like with the Railway Museum, it's just freaking awesome.
Oh, it's beautiful. They've redone the station itself, and it's a beautiful, beautiful place. So we highly recommend anybody going there for sure.
Right. I should think a horror movie about this. I'm gonna call it Dr. Giggles or something.
Actually, that would be a good idea.
Dr. Giggles in this whore train. I like that. I had to run it by them, call Tony up and say, Dr. Giggles in this whore train. Can we film this?
Yeah, that's actually a really good idea.
The hallways are only like 18 inches wide, and you can imagine when I go in there, it's like, holy cow, claustrophobia. I'm sweating. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, they're warm in there. I went in
July. Get a little train track with the camera on going through.
Yeah. One time went in, and it was the dining car. They had just gotten on site, and a couple of us went in there, and all of a sudden, at the same time, we all felt like the car was moving, like moving along the tracks, and we couldn't understand it because it was like vibrating, like it was traveling, and we're all looking at each other, going, "Did you feel that? Who did that?" Look at the door and go, "What's going on? Who did that?" And nobody could explain it, but we all felt it at the same time.
Wow.
That's when you experience things simultaneously like that.
Yeah, that's what it's fun.
I'm not crazy. No, I know
you're
not.
Unwell.
That break takes me to get back to the interface. Am I crazy?
Yeah. Cheryl and I get dizzy in the same places. We'll walk into a space and you'll hear one of us go, "Oh," and then we're like, "Yep."
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Yeah, but we'll confirm with each other that we feel energy in certain places.
Definitely something.
Oh yeah.
Something in the air.
Every year, it's like I'm
That's
more
exactly
like
what
that.
you do. Oh,
Well.
yeah.
Yeah. So, how long you been? Melanie been?
I think it'll be 2 years in November.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm a baby investigator.
Oh. Yeah.
Big baby. I'm still learning.
Yeah.
I like that
We all are.
she started out with everything was a ghost, and then she got to that stage where nothing's a ghost. And
That's
then
me now. I'm like, it's not real.
then I had her in the yard of a major place going, "Where's the ghost at?"
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I'm sorry.
A newbie.
Yeah. I spent all the time to come here and be one, and none of you are out to play.
Yeah.
Like, spirit don't like you.
You'll get there, Melanie. Don't worry.
I enjoy the ride, right? Like I like learning how I love learning how other groups investigate too. I really enjoy working with other groups as well. Because everybody investigates differently. Everybody has different ideas, thoughts on what's going on. So I do really enjoy investigating with other groups to see how they do it. It gives me ideas on maybe what I can bring back to Mark and Cheryl and say, hey, why don't we try this, right? So it's a huge learning curve, and you want to make sure that you're doing it properly and not upsetting anybody, right? So, and I think obviously debunking things is huge. Not everything's paranormal. Very small amount of things are paranormal, and you need to learn how to tell or differentiate what may be paranormal and what may be environmental or something else, right? So
absolutely. Yeah, we want to tell them what it's not. Like when we went in with a tri-field meter, and told one couple with his older house that, well, you've got knob and tube, you've got a lot of EMF activity because of the fact that you need to have a plumber. You basically need an entire home makeover from top to bottom.
They had wires touching.
Rewiring with the with off the charts.
It's not paranormal.
A lot of people don't realize what high EMF can do.
It does to me.
Your thought process, right? So you're thinking that you're having all this happening, and there's a reasonable explanation for it. So
I guess so.
We had a bed that was under EMF at one place we did, and literally I told the lady, she's like, it's got to be a ghost. I'm like, no, this is bad electrical somewhere. I said, this is not, the bed had EMF for 3 hours and nothing touching it electronically. I'm like, you've got something seriously electrical wrong in your house.
And you think about it, most people sleep for 8 hours a night. So she's under that EMF for 8 hours a night. It's going to have an effect for sure.
Yeah. Wow. So, what's your next investigation was again?
The Heritage House Public. We have 2 privates we're doing. We have some people to help with their houses. Those I find are more fun than the others. One of my favorites all time was they cut the ground wire to the house with a weed eater. So the house was it was electric everywhere. I walked in, I was like, I walked in, I was like, holy cow, I've got the paranormal house finally. And, when I did the walk around on the outside, I was like, oh shit. And as soon as they fixed the wire, no, not a problem ever again. I like that more because I don't want to have to call an exorcist or a priest or I haven't had to in 30 years. I hope I don't ever have to.
Right.
We have one on standby.
I have one on
exorcist.
standby.
Yeah.
But I just I enjoy helping people get comfortable in their house versus in the 80s you would have been like, okay, you're going to the mental place for a while.
Yeah.
Nowadays people are more embracive of it, so it's like, let's get you to live here and understand what's here and coexist. I guess, coexist with whatever's going on.
Right.
Where me and Cheryl would set up cameras and be like, add more cameras to the DVR.
Oh, God. Oh, we've done that. Oh, we have.
Or we're on their home security system, so we get notifications. And It's
Yeah.
like, oh, there's a squirrel in the backyard.
It's a paranormal squirrel.
And there's a raccoon.
Well, we had somebody's doorbell camera caught a moose on their front porch in the middle of the night in downtown Ottawa, and I'm like, that's what I want.
Oh, that would be heaven. I love moose.
Well, it's
what-
until you see
what-
them.
Was the Bullwinkle?
Yeah, Bullwinkle.
I
He's looking
think
for
that was
Rocky.
before my time. I don't remember Bullwinkle.
Oh, God, shut up.
I'm sorry.
Rocky and Bullwinkle.
Yeah, just reminded me that, yes,
So,
I'm old.
yes, a squirrel, right? I mean, they have squirrels on the so.
Yeah, we got lots of
Rocky was flying squirrel. So
Yeah, our dogs go wild because we've got squirrels that like to jump from tree to tree, and they just want
let's do them off.
yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Oh my! You guys are a blast. How are you doing?
Oh, it's been wonderful having us on.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I tell fun. It's my pleasure. I know. And I'll get back on again. I'm booked out for a while, but I think
Awesome.
I have a dry off in like probably 2 weeks long, so I'll be back on.
Yeah, send us an invite. I'm glad they come back and talk about it. I got a bunch of stories of paranormal fun. I've knocked myself out in a mill. It was great.
Oh,
Cheryl.
God.
Is
Yeah.
that that camera?
Yeah, I ran right
I
into
know
an
that
ivy.
story.
Martintown Mill.
Yeah, Martintown Mill. I ran my head right in the ivy.
Everybody heard it too.
My dog came to visit.
Oh, I had to kick mine out because she started barking.
There you go.
She is my girl. She's Dad's girl. She turns 15 this year.
Our dog is also the same age, so yeah, blind, deaf.
She's a good girl. Pretty much. She's actually a puppy dog. Yeah.
A paradog.
Paradog.
Yeah, I'm a lap dog.
I feel like teams should have a dog.
There you go. I'm
No,
messed
we
I
had
think
one.
it's great. I mean, they're way more sensitive than we are, right?
We've investigated with the dog, and they are. But the problem is on the EVPs, you hear the snorting and the breathing and the grinding of a dog
Oh,
and everything. So you just got to throw the evidence out.
Yeah, dog is in call Buster.
Yeah,
Ghostbuster.
what they call it? What does Jeeb and Ring call their dog? It's the paranormal dog. It's cute.
Yeah.
No, it was fun. I actually did point a couple times the night we investigated with him, so it was interesting to see. We try any kind of investigation once. It's like,
Yeah. We go back twice.
yeah.
Okay, guys.
This is what we do for fun.
Oh yeah.
Most couples go to the movies. We
go.
paranormaling.
I like that.
I talk to walls.
Yeah.
Yes,
That's basically what it feels like.
Yeah,
Sometimes.
I'd rather be paranormaling.
Yeah, I'm paranormal. Leave me alone.
Yeah.
Currently asking the walls, what's going on over there?
I'm paranormaling.
You sure you don't want to talk to me?
Yeah,
No, really.
I'm really fun.
I'd rather be. Oh my. Okay, guys. Gals. Sorry.
Don't let it happen again.
I get also I have mixed guys and a couple gals on them.
Yep.
Probably that. All right. We're gonna wrap it up here, and thanks again for coming on the show.
Yes, thank you for having us.
I like I said some stuff to you that I didn't get on, like
Oh,
take a look
absolutely.
at. So
Okay.
if you send stuff to me, I'd be good. So
Love
it'd
it.
be
Excellent.
wonderful to get some myself. So
Okay.
Okay.
all right.
Perfect.
Well, got that, everybody. So next time, have a haunting, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Good night.